It is new bike day, everyone's favorite day. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm not super big into the track bike scene anymore. Haven't bought a new track bike in like over 10 years. That LD Labs back there, I got for free a long time ago. Don't get me wrong, I love it. Didn't buy it, wouldn't buy it. Today is no different. I didn't buy today's track bike either, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited to build it. Today we have, boom, Tyrant Bikes. I know Zach Gallardo built one, and I've seen a few others floating around the internet. Tyrant Bikes sent this bad boy over to build, test, and talk about. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I've tried to build this bike as cool as I can, but also trying not to break the bank, because while Tyrant did send me the frame, I had to buy everything else on my own. I've already taken a peek, but it's not fully unboxed yet, so let's finish the job off together. Boom, Tyrant Legacy. If you don't know about Tyrant Bikes, Tyrant is owned by Sal, the former owner of Leader Bikes, which has a completely new owner and is essentially an entirely different company by this point. But back in the day, Leader Bikes used to be legendary. They had the Kagero, the 735, the TRK series. They advanced a lot of the trick frame meta with the TRK, the Mordecai, the Shadow, the Hurricane, and the Pharaoh. In its ashes arises Tyrant Bikes. I'm really excited to build this thing up. I think it's gonna look really cool. I've got a lot of chrome and silver parts for it. We've got a nice raw frame here. Let's take a closer look.
Sworn.
Already got the sport cut and crown race installed. Shout out to Epic. All right, let's talk about the parts that are going on this here frame. Bike is gonna be a mix of things I've found on OfferUp, old parts that I've had, and brand new parts thanks to TrackLab and Retrogression. Let's start small. Straps. Why not straps? Best in the game. For bars, I've gone with risers. We've got some classic Nito ones. Not too wide, just the way I like it. For stem, since this is a 25.4 bar, I've gone with a 25.4 classic LDG freestyle stem. This is one of the very first BMX style stems I ever bought back in 2011 from the LDG store in Huntington Beach. Seat post, I had to order a special one because the Tyrant takes a 31.8 clamp, 31.6 I mean. We've got a thick boy Thompson. This is brand new. I had a Thompson all set to go, and then I realized it was the wrong size, so that was unfortunate. But we've got a thick boy here. Brand new, the Zumi chain in silver. Last thing in this box is a very shiny Eurasia Imports cog, courtesy of TrackLab in San Francisco. Shout out to Patrick, one of the best fixed gear shops still around, because the fixed gear shop is a dying breed. That's it for this box of fun. Next up is the wheels. Nothing too special. I've got some H+1 Archetype 700C 32 hole wheels. These are just laced to some Origin 8 hubs. I really like the shine on the H+1 rims, so I think they're gonna look nice. This was an OfferUp find. It's 200 bucks for the wheel set. Can't beat that. They also came with the Randa newer tires, so that's a big win also. Crank set, we're gonna go with the classic. Boom. Set of Omniums. Can't go wrong with Omniums. You're thinking, oh, how much did you pay for those? 200 bucks, another OfferUp swoop. And they're basically brand new, so really good come up there. For my saddle, I'm gonna go with my prototype Master Bike Co. Turbo Knockoff saddle. Great saddle, very grippy. A little bit pilly, but it's old and it works. What I'm realizing sitting here is that I don't have pedals and I don't have grips, but we can definitely improvise. This here is an old pair of Rough Bike Co bars. They may be broken, but the grips are still pretty fresh on them. So I'm gonna pull off these S&M Hoder grips to put on those Nito bars. And then I have so many pedals just laying around, just old ones. So I'll find a close enough match for pedals and throw them on the Omniums. I think let's start building it. a lot of people agree with me, but I just love skinnier bars, mostly more functional. And I think they have a classic look to them that I really like. I think wide bars are comfortable, but I don't know. These have a lot of back sweep. Holy shit. Why is putting seat posts on such a pain in the ass? There has to be a better way. Oh wait, there is. It's called pivotal. Are we all just okay with this archaic system? And also, he's not a good bike mechanic, so that probably has something to do with it too. Next up, bottom bracket. We got a lot of the hard stuff out of the way. None of it was really that hard. That's the beauty of track bikes. The only thing we have to do with the wheels is swap out the cog. I love Eurasia Imports cogs. These are beautiful. This is just the cog and lock ring that came with this wheel set. Who knows? Maybe it's seized on. That'll be fun. Yeah. Oh, there we go. 18 tooth All City cog that came with this. RIP. All City. Quality you can taste. This is kind of cool. This is looking really nice. Last thing, I need grips on these and pedals. There we go. All right, let's see if I can find any bar ends laying around. Of course I have bar ends laying around. Pedals, let's see if I got pedals laying around. After searching in my car, of course I have pedals. Damn, they're both rights. Let me see if I can find a left. This is a judgment-free zone. I don't want any judgment. But the only pedal I was able to find was this white Odyssey one. This pedal, funny enough, is actually from the very first freestyle bike I ever put together. That should be the final touch. Relatively painless. Actually, extremely painless, especially by my standards, because I always have problems when I build bikes. This looks like it's gonna be a nice mix of street, riding, and trick track. There's only one thing left to do, and that's test it. We're gonna give it a little street test. We're gonna give it a little trick test, because it's not my channel without some trick test. Wait, does it bar spin? No. Actually, you know what? With we have 32C tires here. I feel like with the 28C tire, that clears. Interesting, I'll have to test that. I'm actually really stoked with the way this thing looks. It reminds me of back in the day when your bikes kind of just did a little bit of everything. You built it up for riding and tricks and commuting and going fast. What are we running on here? We're running a 48-17 ratio on this. In my opinion, that's a ratio for a little bit of everything. So let's try it out. All right, so I have made it to my favorite place to do trick track, flat ground tricks. It is the Newport Elementary Blacktop, as made famous by Council of Doom, Culture Vultures, all that good fixed gear history. Let's see what we can do with a Tyrant Legacy build. Ooh. If I force it hard enough, it bar spins. What's up? Testing, testing. Is this thing on? I've had this Tyrant Legacy now for about 2 months built up. I got the frame originally back in August. It is April now, almost a full calendar year. Sorry, Sal. I should have built it a lot sooner, honestly, because plain. Like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I have had this Legacy frame set since August. I haven't built up a regular track bike like this. I know it's not track bike, it doesn't have drop bars, blah, blah, blah. A commuter style standard beater track bike like this in a long time. So it's been really fun rediscovering what it's like to ride around a city semi-casually, but you know, going fast at the same time. What I usually do is I have my 26-inch bike and I'll just rip around and hit spots, but you can't ride fast sustainably on the 26-inch bike or trick-specific bike. So having a bike that's been a hybrid of both has been really fun, actually. The Tyrant Legacy is what I call the perfect beater bike. If you don't know, a beater bike is just kind of a bike that you use for everything and you don't need to keep it perfect. If it gets a little bit scratched because you're chucking it around, you know, no harm, no foul. Steel is real and you can really feel it while you're riding the bike. It's really solid under you. As far as the geometry goes for the Legacy, it is a standard track bike. When you're riding it, you do have a little bit of toe overlap right here. That's pretty standard for track bikes, which means the geometry is nice and tight, compact, responsive. That can be a double-edged sword. when you're trying to focus on tricks, because it gives you no bar spin clearance. And then while you're riding fakie, if your wheel hits your foot a little bit while you're riding fakie, it can kind of throw you off. So what I really love about this bike is the fact that you can fit really big tires for a track bike in both of these. I have 32C tires on both sides right now, and there is a mile of room still. I could probably fit a 40C tire on both of these, maybe. Where am I going with this review? I'm kind of rambling, so let me give you a nice pros and cons list here. Let's talk about the pros. It's made of steel. It's strong. Not like trick strong, but it's strong for a track bike. It has big tire clearance. Love that. The geometry is nice and tight. It's traditional track geometry. If you like fixed gear bikes, you should love that. And then lastly, I just love the way it looks. The raw steel with the gold accents. The welds are nice. Let's talk about some of the cons. Like I said, the geometry is tight, which can be a good thing, but you also get toe overlap, which can be kind of annoying while you're riding, or especially while you're doing tricks. It doesn't bar spin a 32C tire. I can like force it through if I really want to, but it doesn't really bar spin. I think it could bar spin a 23C tire though, so it can kind of bar spin. Still a con though. 31.8 seat post. I'm not a fan of that personally. It looks weird to me. That's just a personal preference. Also, I had to buy a whole new seat post to build this bike up, which was annoying because I had like a ton of 27.2 seat posts ready to go. I wish I didn't have the bottle mounts personally, because I'm never going to use that. At least they surrounded it in gold, which is kind of cool. And then lastly, I'm just more of a fan of integrated headsets rather than these external cups. It just makes your life so much harder. I know it's a traditional look and people like that classic track bike look, but come on, it's just integrated is so much easier. Other than that though, I mean, most of my gripes are mostly aesthetic. The build rides amazing, and I have had a ridiculous amount of fun on this thing over the last few months. I don't commute that much anymore, but having this bike has kind of reignited my desire to commute to places more. I'm riding my bike to lunch now, and I'm riding my bike to people's houses and going to the beach on this thing, and it's just so much fun. I can jump up curbs with it. You know, I can jump off curbs with it. I can hit a 180 here and there. It's just such a great all-around beater commuter bike. If you like this review, please give it a like, subscribe. Check out some of my other videos. I do a lot of fixed gear tutorials, which will teach you how to do sweet tricks. We have a fixed gear podcast called Off Track. You should go check that out because it's one of the only fixed gear podcasts on the market. And if you like fixed gears, you should listen to fixed gear stuff. Like, subscribe, shout out to Tyrant. Thanks for sending this bike over, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, I hope you recorded audio, please.